Hey guys, this is Pierce, creator of Orders of Terra, and today I'm going to be bringing to you the original Orders of Terra cards, back when it wasn't even called Orders of Terra. But first, I'm going to tell a little story. Before this game was called Orders of Terra, my cousins came over to my house, and they had the idea to create a card game on index cards, and so that's what we did. My younger cousin and my younger brother drew the cards, and me and my older cousin wrote the cards, and that's what resulted in this. All these cards were the original Orders of Terra cards, and again, it was not even called Orders of Terra back then. It was called Castles and Knights. This is the tiny rulebook that we used. The rules were largely the same, but as you can see here, there's basically just 3 troop zones, an arsenal, which was your deck at the time, and the discard pile. It only had troops and functions, and if you've noticed, I got this nice new playmat. It's actually a 2-player playmat. You can't see all of it, but it's a really nice 2-player playmat. It has all the zones for Orders of Terra. It's pretty cool. I ordered it from Inked Gaming, so if you guys want to check them out, they're pretty much the best place to get custom playmats. Alright, so I've got all the cards sorted into their various categories, and now we're going to go through the troops from +0 all the way up to +3, and then we're going to show you the functions as well. And if any of these cards exist in the current Orders of Terra trading card game, then I'll make sure to pop it up on the screen somewhere. So the first card is Farmer, second card is Archer Person. This card seems pretty overpowered because most troops at this time couldn't usually have more than 150 attack. Hence is the case with Machine Gun Turret, unnamed card. Oh no, named Taser Man. There are names at the bottom apparently. Flaming Lava Fiend, which does have a current TCG counterpart. Then we have Chest Keeper, Hearts Boy, I think, and then we have Scavenger, Screamer, which I believe was now translated to War Drummer, Spearman, which was changed to Light Lancer. Lizard Boy did not make the cut, neither did Experimental Goo or Armored Soldier. Necromancer was extremely overpowered because he could return to your hand 1 troop from the discard pile. Pokey Plant, Experimenter, kind of to go with the Experimental Ooze from earlier. We have Bread Dog, Rubik's Dude with Rubik spelled incorrectly. Channeler, which apparently you can defeat to add 1 function from your discard pile or your deck to your hand, so that's a really powerful one. Alien Frog, who can't be defeated or destroyed by a function. Angry Swamp Sorcerer, ooh, 250 attack, so scary. Then we have Poison Pumpkin. We have Hopper, Boxer, who again is represented in the current TCG, which is a card that I'm kind of ashamed of putting in from this game into the current TCG. I'm not gonna lie, I think that was a mistake. It's pretty hard to make him fit with the lore. Then we have Trader, who was a Statue of Exchange, I believe, in the current TCG. Power Man, who did not make it. Neither did Whacking Mustache Guy or Dual Pistols. Then we have Shadow Dragon, Alien Tech Drone. None of the Alien Tech cards made it to the current TCG. We have Water Knight, Gunner, Shovel Man, Forest Scout, Bomb Boy, Knife Dude, which is an extremely powerful card with 200 attack. Now we're on to the +1s, and we're getting started off with a Zombie Ninja, Fat Dude, who has 100 more attack but 100 less health. Double Bomb, who may be an upgraded version of Bomb Soldier, and it does 50 attack to all other soldiers on the battle zone. We weren't exactly sure what to call the field at this point, as you can tell. Four-Armed, who is now represented as a demon. And we have Sheep Rider, Energy Robot. This card is dual wielder. A Death Reaper, Wrecking Man, which is now Wrecking Knight in our current TCG. Green Ghost, a lot of attack power there. Spiked Cowbeast, and you can tell that we just kind of put the text box wherever it fit. Wherever the younger people decided to draw the art, we just put it on the other side of the card. We have Big Head Dude, which was very powerful because when it was placed, it defeats a soldier. Then we have Spirit Warrior. I don't know why this was a +1 exactly. Whirlwinder, Tween Swords, God Warrior. Then we have Goblin Tinker, who summons 1 troop from your hand when placed. This is probably one of the better +1s. Princess, Horseback Rider, Octo Fighter, which is at 300 health and 500 attack. That's really powerful. Cannonball, Beaver Boy. Now I have a story about Beaver Boy. So this card kind of looks like Brave Blader, don't you think? Well, that's because this card actually is Brave Blader, an earlier version of Brave Blader. When I translated it to the first revised version of the card game that I made on Google Shapes, or Google Drawings, sorry, I initially gave this guy the effect, be extra placed from your hand if you controlled no troops. However, I thought, oh, his teeth look a bit too weird, so I removed them, but he still had a big mouth. Maybe I made it a tiny bit smaller. But this is actually the original version of Brave Blader. I think you will be amazed how good the card arts are if you've seen the newest speed art made by one of our newest artists. Very cool to see that the game's progressing this quickly. We have Quick Marksman, another card that was directly translated to the TCG almost. Alien Tech Roller, 14 Eyes. We have Moss Wizard, We have Alien Tech Turret, Weird Chief, Juggernaut, another card that was translated into the TCG. Now we have the Titan archetype. Sort of. We have Titan Archer, who is a +3, and who only had 500 health, and instead of attacking, you can deal a whole 100 damage directly to an opponent. Actually, we'll set this guy and the Titan Warrior off for a second to look at War Tank, who had 1,800 health, Axe Dwarf with 1,550 attack, and question mark, I think we would call this one Ninja Master, I believe, and it can't attack your opponent directly, or their castle as we called it, and it's a +3, it has 5,000 attack, only 100 health, and when it's placed, it's automatically the other player's turn. So if they have anything that does damage, you just wasted 3 troops on this. But anyway, now let's go on to the Titan sort of archetype. You have the Titan Archer and the Titan Warrior. I believe there were others, but there's also the Titan King, who sends Titans, just in general, just sends Titans to the battle zone. I don't know how that would work, because you have to discard your whole hand to place him. He has 1,000 health and 1,500 attack. Apparently, he was not a plus troop. He was a +0, I believe. You just had to discard your whole hand to place him, which could be 1 card. And how could he send Titans to the battle zone if you didn't have a hand? Maybe he sent them from your deck. So basically, if you have 1 other card in your hand, and these guys are just kind of sitting in your deck, and this was the card back, by the way. We drew this on every single, or at least most of the cards. These guys have it? Yes, they do. So you have this card and 1 card in your, and 1 other card in your hand. You can go ahead, discard this card to put out the King Titan, who could send Titans from your deck to the battlefield. So this is easily the most overpowered card. I don't think whoever made this thought very much about how powerful it would be. Maybe they just forgot to put +3 on it because they thought it would just have assumed. But technically, this is a +0 card, I believe. All right, well, that's all the troops. Now let's move on to functions. We have Blinding Bug, Jailed, Anti-Draw. Your opponent doesn't draw on their next turn, so it's a nice 1-for-1 trade. Then we have Drawium Plated Blades. Now we have Card Trader, which is the version of Exchange, where you draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. Pretty simple and effective. Then we have Jack-Lantern Blast, Final Effort, which doubles the attack of 1 troop you control, and at the end of the turn, this card was used, that troop's attack is changed to 0. Not quite as big of a drawback as today's Final Effort, but maybe it's more balanced that way. Then we have Stat Swap, Bomb, Energy Release, very powerful card. Stunner, which stuns one of your opponent's troops for 2 rounds. Unstable Potion, which is also in the current TCG. Gate, Energy Drainer. Sword in the Stone, this is also translated to the current TCG. This version was extremely OP. It just skipped your opponent's next turn. They just didn't get to have a turn. Then we have Ice Rod. Rocket Incoming deals 200 damage to your opponent's castle. We have the I Want to Shuffle My Deck card, which just lets you shuffle your deck. And then we have Rebuild, which is pretty much the opposite of Rocket Incoming, and it just adds 200 health to your castle. Then we have Spirit Gift, which is an extremely powerful card. You can basically steal an opponent's troop by paying 600 health. Electromagnetic Scrap Pile. For the rest of the turn, every time you defeat a troop, deal 100 damage to your opponent's castle. Then we have 2 coin flip effects. This is pretty much Unstable Potion in the current TCG. It's very bad. We have Heads or Tails, where if it's heads, you defeat one of your opponent's troops, and if it's tails, your opponent can defeat one of your troops. Now we have the Dice archetype. First of all, we have Dice Roll 1 Alpha, which is pretty much almost the exact same than the one in our current TCG. Still, I think, one of the worst cards in the game. Dice Roll 2 Beta, Dice Roll 3 Gamma, and Secrets of the Golden Dice. This was not added to the current TCG. Now we have Mimic, quite possibly the best card in the entire game. It can mimic any card. Not sure if we meant functions by this or not, but we just drew some of the best card artworks on this. Call of the Reaper. Add 1 troop from your discard pile to your hand. Kind of the opposite of Call of the Reaper in the current TCG. Then we have Old Granny that defeats 1 soldier on the field. We have Swirly Twister. This is Raging Twist in the current TCG. Reigning Glory. We do have this card in the current TCG, but it only lets both players draw until they each have 2 cards in their hand. Box of Blocking. This is basically Crystal Barrier, so I'm just going to put it up here. 1-man army, pretty much the same as the current TCG. Wailing Child, return all troops to their respective hands. This is a giant Trunade for troops, and basically Cyclonic Rift. We have Dark Bone Call, Troop Exchange, and Function Exchange, were 2 searcher cards where you discard a troop from your hand to put 1 function from your deck into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You just had to discard any 1 function to add any 1 troop from your deck to your hand. These are extremely powerful searcher cards, and did I mention that we only have 1 of each card? They're really powerful. Not quite as broken as King Titan over here, but you know. Then we have Helmet Dude, which restores 150 health to anyone on the field. We have Anti-Summon, which means that your opponent can't summon a +1, +2, or +3 troop for his or her next 2 turns. Dual Pistols, where each player selects 1 card in the opponent's hand at random and discard them. Trojan Horse, where you can discard a card and allow a troop that you control to attack your opponent directly. Card Trader, this is the not legal version. Maybe I was just trying to make this card more widely accessible, I don't know. Here we have Mortar, we have Ambush, we have Energy Attack, we have Scout, which dodges 1 attack on the base. I don't know if you had to play this the turn before or if you could just use it when you were getting attacked. We have Untrained Spy, which is let you pick and see one of your opponent's cards in their hand. We have Royal TV, Wizardry. This card almost made it to the current TCG, but it got kind of transformed from Wizardry and became Ether Chain. So I guess I'll put that one up here. Assassin. This is definitely one that was translated to the TCG and it was extremely powerful. It's currently restricted to 1. It's extremely good, except this one did not have the stipulation that you could not attack the turn you played it, so it just defeated everything on the field. That's it. You just did blanket field wipe, Dark Hole. Then we have Worthy Soldier, and it gives 100 extra attack to 1 soldier on the field. And next we have a few Trap Holes, Trap Hole 1 and Trap Hole 2. The first one says, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all their troops have -100 attack, and if a troop's attack is reduced below 0 by this effect, you defeat it. And Trap Hole number 2 says, for the rest of the turn, your troops cannot battle your opponent's troops, but may attack your opponent's castle directly. Not exactly sure how that's a trap hole. Maybe you're trapping your opponent's troops from defending their castle. Then we have Wisps, which is now Wisp Ritual, and I spelled it incorrectly here. And this just lets you place as many troop markers on your side of the field as possible, and they're still considered troops, and just 50 health and 0 attack, and it was an extremely powerful card back in the olden days. Now we have Magic Head Ball. Select 1 troop and it gains 100 life. We have Teleporter, and this basically is pretty much the same as the current TCG as well, except it's now known as Ancient Gateway. And for the last card, we have Phantom Thief, which lets you use the effect of 1 function in your opponent's discard pile, and you have to pay 500 castle points to use this. It had a really high cost, but it is worth of note in this game that both players started with 2,500 health. Yes, 2,500 health points each, and they start with 3 cards in the hand, and there were 20 cards in a deck, 30 cards maximum. And I just thought that this was a really cool video to kind of show you guys the origin, the humble origin of Orders of Terra. I believe there was actually a playmat for this as well, a very small playmat. I don't know if I have it, but we have some illegal cards here. We have the not legal Card Trader, and then we have the not able to play Sprinkling Glory, which is another version of... Actually, no, these are both just different versions of Card Trader. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and here's one undone artwork. That it's just art, and it's actually pretty good art for this era of the game. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing all of these original Orders of Terra cards, and I hope you guys also enjoyed the playmat. And about why these say Artifice Zone instead of Counter Zone, you will find out about that when set 2 drops. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get the intro decks up and online on the Game Crafter, which I haven't done because it won't let me, because I have not added action shots of the decks yet, so I just need to take a few pictures of them, upload them to the Game Crafter, and hopefully by the time this video is released, the intro decks will be out. Again, I'll be making a video on the intro decks later, but if you and your friends want to get started playing Orders of Terra, you can definitely just each pick up one of the intro decks, or if it's your friend's birthday, you can get them an intro deck, and you can get yourself an intro deck, and then go ahead and start off your collections in Orders of Terra. And the decks are fairly balanced against each other, so whichever one you choose, you should have a pretty equal chance of winning based on your skill level. And if you want to download the rulebook, the link to the current rulebook will be in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye.